welcome to part 2 of Hunt Trains. As you can see here in the Discord channel, a train was just called by whoever this person is. This little cactus here indicates the server. It's Cactuar. If you're not familiar with those, the bot will always tell you what server to go to. They are starting in Lakeland, Fort Job in 5 minutes. Use PF, that's Party Finder, that was gone over in part 1. The scouts who put this together are these folks here, and this is the conductor. So now that we know what to do, we're going to go and do it. Now, this is called on Cactuar, which is my server, and I am going to run this as a machinist. So normally, if it's not on your server, you would just go to your main area, click the Aetheryte, right-click the Aetheryte in the main plaza, and then click Visit Another World Server. We're already here, so we don't have to do this part. I'm going to go ahead and teleport over to Fort Job and get this party started. We are going to have 5 minutes to burn, so I'm going to go over a couple of things before we start. So here's the gather. That's a cool mount. I want that. So we're going to go ahead and party up. The hunt. Just pick this dude. Join party. Okay. So we've got about 5 minutes to burn now while we wait for other players to arrive. So what I want to talk about are the types of trains that are typically run. There's two types. There's a bullet train, and then there's like a weight train. So what we're going to be doing today is a bullet train. A bullet train is when the conductor tells everyone exactly where the A rank creature is, and then you have to get there as quickly as possible, and then you kill it. This is the most common type of train. The other type of train is a weight train. I think that's what it's called. It might have a different name, but this is when the conductor doesn't tell you where the mob is. He tells you instead what Aetheryte to port to. This is typically enacted when there is a large volume of players that are doing hunts, which will typically happen after new content is released or after the weekly reset on Tuesday. The reason why they do this is because when there's so many players that start to participate in the hunt trains, the Aetherytes can get congested and you won't be able to teleport to them. If there's too many players in that location, you'll actually get an error on your screen, and it'll say the teleport location is congested, please try again. To ensure that everybody on the train gets maximum credit, the conductor will tell people where to port to, and then once you get there, you move away from the Aetheryte so other people can port in. After a short delay, it's usually about 20 seconds or so, the conductor will then post the coordinates of the A rank creature, and then you continue as normal. So it takes a little bit longer to do a delay train, but it's just to ensure that everyone gets maximum credit. So once this minute is up and the train starts, what the train conductor is going to do is he's going to shout the coordinates of where we're going to go, where these creatures are. You click the coordinate in the chat and a flag will pop up on your map like that, and it'll tell you go there. So now everyone's going to start going there. So here we go. The train has begun. Most of the creatures on the train do have the ability to kill you, or at least make your life a little bit miserable. So this guy, don't stand in front of him. That's it. Just don't stand in front of him. He has a bad breath thing that will give you a ton of debuffs. It's actually quite annoying. Okay, we received maximum contribution for slaying the mark. And this is pretty much what we're here for, these Elegant Tomestones of Revelation. Next location has been posted. We're going to click it, and this is going pretty fast. Train will usually take about 12 to 18 minutes, depending on how many players are here. Okay, now we'll go to the next zone. Now that these two are dead, which is in Colicia, we're just going to click there, and we'll teleport over to Tamra and move to the next location. Again, you're just clicking the link here in the chat. It's also a really good idea to try to make sure that you've spent your tomestones before you do these. I didn't really have time, nor do I have anything to spend them on, so that's why those two are maxed. But if you have maxed out your money, then there's not a whole lot of point in doing this. because you're not going to get the rewards. So for this guy, he has a AoE ability as well. Just stay away from him. If he casts it, just don't stand in the AoE. Pretty simple. I like it when they're pretty close together. I think this next one is Little Murderer. Is that his name? He doesn't really do too much. He has an AoE ability that you just kind of stay away from. That's about it. And it's pretty tight on him too, so again, if you're playing a ranged class, you're fine. I think this one will be Maliktender. If I remember correctly, this is the big red cactus thing. Yeah, so for this guy, he has a couple of abilities that deal a lot of damage. What you'll see him do is he'll pick a random player that's engaged with him, and he will run to them, stand there, cast Sabaton Dance, and then spin around in a circle. Everyone that gets hit by that spin, it gets stunned. He'll then point to someone that's stunned and deal a ton of damage to them like that. So the only thing you have to do is just make sure you don't get hit by Sabaton Dance. That's it. See, he keeps casting the 50,000 needles. He also has one that deals 1,000,000 damage, so just don't stand in front of him. So this next guy's name is Sugaar, however you want to pronounce it. I think it's Sugaar. He has a mechanic where you have to follow him in a circle. The arrows indicate which way to go. Probably won't do that. These mobs are dying really, really fast, so I doubt we'll even see that mechanic, but that's what you do against him if you do see it. If he casts Tail Snap, just don't stand near his tail. If he casts Body Slam, just get away from him. It's an AoE. If he does the spin thing, you don't have to really worry about it on ranged because you just stand outside of it and he won't deal any damage to you. Yeah, it doesn't even look... Oh, there it is. Okay, we're half done. That's 6. Do you know La-Hee? For the gorilla, he does an AoE attack. You just have to not stand next to him. He also can randomly select one player and just yeet them across the map, which is kind of funny, but there's the AoE. Doesn't really deal a whole lot of damage. Usually the healers are spamming their AoE heal spells. Anyway, as you can see, everybody here has this Medica 2. Alright. And as we're doing this, another train actually got called in the Discord. I'm trying to pull up my Discord here. It's on Gilgamesh. Lake lands, 4th job in 5 minutes. Bullet train, nothing else matters. So there's another one. I probably want to get moving. Don't want to be too late for these. I want to make sure you get credit. For this one, when you see the eye, turn away from it like this. This way you don't get stunned, because if you look at that when it goes off, you'll get frozen. Anyone that gets frozen has a chance to take 1,000,000 damage from her, whatever she hits you with. So you want to make sure you look away from the eye. Done. I think next will be Tempest. So a little weird thing about the trains on this particular data center is that every other server, every other world, ends here on Tempest. Cactuar does not. They end in Ilmeg. So we're going to try to make sure everyone is reminded to not leave when you're on Cactuar. Okay, so for Baal, he has a gigantic AoE ability that looks like that, but it's much bigger. And when it casts over half the map, it does that. It goes from one side and it goes to the other. But when he does the big version of it, the second part of that is not telegraphed. So I don't know if we're actually going to see it or not, but you have to move, otherwise it'll hit you and it could kill you. So I don't know if we're going to see it. I kind of show you the baby version there. Yeah. So we're going to stand here. It's going to go off. And then we're going to move to where it just went off, and now it's going to go off on the other side. It's just not telegraphed, so you have to be aware of that. Hey, cave rave. Everyone's going to start saying cave rave now because there's a little cave way out here. And that's what they say. I don't really know why, but whatever. See, people are trying to... Train is not over until we kill Poop Boy. Just trying to remind whoever's leading this group to not disband it. So here's a little cave entrance. I'm really just following other players right now. I'm not checking my mini-map. For this one, when it casts Aether Pull, whatever it is, get away from her because she'll pull you in. What the heck? I gotta select the right thing. There we go. So again, if you're a ranged hero, it doesn't matter. You'll be fine. There's Ethereal Pull. You want to get away from her get away from it when it does that. Okay, swing on over to Ilmeg, and we're going to kill the big demon thing. Oh, Poorest Pauldia, whatever. So for this one, it just shoots a big laser out of the front. Just stay kind of like in the behind it, I guess, and you'll be fine. And it also has a swipe like that. That was the swipe. It can deal some damage, but it won't kill you immediately. It's not a one-shot. But the reason that Cactuar ends on Mudman is because Mudman is the A rank that kills the most number of players. It's actually the smart way to do it. It's the right way to do it. Everyone should end on Mudman because usually after Mudman you have to pause and stop and wait for reses because so many people die from him. So ending it here makes it so there's no delay. It's smart. I wish the other ones would do it this way. To Mudman we go. I'm just going to teleport to Lita Loran. I'm not going to fly that. Nobody else should fly that either. So for Mudman, he has two abilities, Bog Bequest and Royal Flush. When he casts Royal Flush, you run away. When he casts Bog Bequest, you run inside of it, basically. He will always cast them back to back, but not in the same order. So you have to pay attention to right here above this. If you don't, you'll die. And of course, don't stand in the AoE. That will one-shot you too. Royal Flush, run away. Bog Bequest, run in. And that's it. Let's see how many people die from this. No one in our group. That's good. Again, I'm just watching to see if he casts it again. He might. Okay, that's it. Train is over. Everyone can go back to doing what they were doing before. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. And in part 3, we will discuss some of the rewards and what you can spend your money on for doing these trains. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers. Bye.